Here are the free online cloud hosting services that you can try. The first one is Amazon AWS. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. Then we have Microsoft Azure at azure.microsoft.com. And we have also Cloudflare at cloudflare.com. Let's look at the first one. Amazon offers you a free tier, which means that you can create an account which allows you to use their cloud services for free. If you scroll down here on this page, you can see that you can use their products for free for a period of 12 months. What it means is, in this free account, you are limited to a certain capacity. Now, as long as you don't exceed that capacity, you can use it for the period of 12 months. However, anytime that you actually exceeded the capacity, for example, you exceeded 750 hours per month for Amazon EC2 here, you have to pay. So what is required is you need to enter your credit card information when you sign up for this free account. So anytime you exceed the limit, you'll be billed accordingly. So these are the services that you have under this free account, where you have up to 750 hours for EC2. EC2 is actually the cloud server. So imagine that you have a server that you always host with your web hosting provider. Here is exactly the same. However, it is not a physical server that you are hosting with. You're actually hosting it on a virtual server by Amazon. Then you also have other products like Amazon QuickSight, RDS, S3, Lambda, and a lot more. Now, these are all the capacity that you get for their products down here for this free account. And these are the ones which will always be free to you. Not just within 12 months. Next, let's look at Microsoft Azure. It is the equivalent of Amazon AWS, which it has a lot of cloud services that you can find down here. So it offers not just Windows Server, but also Linux virtual servers here, mentioned here. The one thing that I don't like about Microsoft Azure is that when you start a free account here, you actually don't have to enter a credit card, which is kind of good in a sense. But you have to remember that there's also a limited capacity for this free account. When you exceed this capacity, immediately your service will stop. Then your service will be unavailable to your customer until you actually go and upgrade your account, where you need to enter a credit card information. So we actually experienced this before. We actually used one of their services, and we actually have an API private key installed on our mobile app. So what happened was we had to create another new account, a paid account with our credit card information, and then we need to change that private key within our app. All our existing users were not able to use our app, so we need to update our app with a new private key in order to continue to use Microsoft Azure service, which I think was pretty stupid. Nonetheless, it is free for you to use. So you just have to be careful on that aspect. You can look at the pricing down here. If you scroll down, you can find all the products that they have and also the cost of each product. And there's also a pricing calculator here, just like Amazon AWS. So you can roughly estimate how much it's going to cost you to use what kind of product. And we have also Cloudflare. Now, Cloudflare is not a cloud hosting service. It's actually a CDN. A CDN actually stands for Content Delivery Network. What it does is it actually stores a copy of your content from your website, for example, if I put it in their servers across the world so that anyone in any part of the world who are trying to access your website, they could access your website content in a faster speed. Now imagine if you have a video content and your server is hosted somewhere far away from your user. Say your user is from Japan and your server is hosted somewhere, say in Europe, in UK, which is quite a distance away. So you're gonna get a lot of buffering or a lot of delay and latency when you're trying to stream that video from UK to Japan. So Cloudflare actually has a server in Japan, so your video file is actually copied to Cloudflare's server in Japan. So the user in Japan actually just have to grab that file not from your UK server, but from your Japan server, which is hosted by Cloudflare. So a good thing about Cloudflare is that they have a free plan which you could use, which I'm also using over here. And you could host not just one website, but multiple websites. Of course, you can always upgrade it further. I do recommend you to use Cloudflare, except maybe if you're based in Korea, because Cloudflare free account doesn't really provide huge data capacity for the traffic coming between Korea and the outside world. This is because of the costs involved.